Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Chris and I'm a technical assistant with the Okanagan Regional Library. Today's video is about a project that I've been doing at home. For a long time now I've wanted a 3D printer. I finally bought one last fall, but I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I think it's time to build a workbench. First, let's have a quick look at the printer. This printer is a DLP Resin Printer, that is, a digital light projection printer that uses light to harden a liquid plastic resin into solid objects one layer at a time. It needs a stable flat surface to sit on so that the liquid in the resin vat is not disturbed during printing. I'll go into detail on this printer in another video. The liquid resin produces some nasty fumes that are unhealthy to breathe, so I'm going to set this printer up in the basement and vent it to the outside. There used to be a homemade climbing wall in this basement, but when it was dismantled it left a bunch of plywood and 2x4s behind. I think I'm going to salvage some of that wood in order to build a workbench. I'm hoping to build something like this sketch. There's a flat top, a shelf in the middle for storage, and some space at the back for lights and maybe a shelf. I'd like the bench to be about 4 feet wide or 48 inches and about 3 feet tall or 36 inches so that I can use it while I'm standing. Why am I using inches instead of centimeters? Because building supplies like wood are still sold in the old imperial measurements, that is feet and inches. This is for a couple of reasons. One, because the United States buys a lot of lumber, and so feet and inches have become the standard, but also because math can be a little easier using feet and inches. For instance, a third of a meter is 33.33333333, etc. repeating centimeters, but a third of a foot is just 4 inches. Easy. Here's a tricky thing too. You may have heard of 2x4s. Well, as it turns out, they're not actually 2 by 4 inches, 2 inches by 4 inches. They're more like 1.5 by 3.5 inches. That's the difference between nominal size, or what we name it, and actual size, what the dimensions actually are in reality. I have to keep this in mind when I draw out my design. So if the bench is about 20 inches deep with 2 inches of overhang on each side, 20 minus 2 minus 2 minus 1.5 equals 14 inches, so the cross pieces will need to be 14 inches long. In the front, if the whole bench is 48 inches wide with 2 inches of overhang on each side, then the cross piece needs to be 48 minus 2 equals 44 inches long. Here's a simple diagram of how many pieces I need and what length they need to be. This is called a cutting schedule. So in total I need 2 44-inch pieces, 4 36-inch pieces, those are the legs, 4 14-inch cross pieces, and the tabletop, which is 48 by 20 inches, and the bottom shelf, which will be around 48 by 14 inches. This design takes into consideration how much scrap wood is available, so after taking some measurements, I know that I'll have enough wood to complete the bench. Now I'll use a crowbar and a hammer to take apart some of this old wood. I'll salvage the nails too and try to reuse them. And I definitely want to remove all of the nails to make it safe to cut these 2x4s with a circular saw. These are spiral nails and they're difficult to pull out with a hammer. They're also a little tough to pull out with just the crowbar, so I found what works is to use the crowbar as a lever, pull up on the nail, and then hammer down on the 2x4 itself in order to pull the nail out. I'm wearing gloves and safety glasses just in case a piece flips up towards my face. Alright, after hours in the sun pulling out nails, I've got a pretty good stack of wood to start with. I think that's it for today, so join me in the next video as I cut these pieces of wood to length and actually start assembling the workbench. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.